Good afternoon and welcome along to Destination Wellbeing. My guest this afternoon is McGeown. Catherine, you're very welcome. I think
Thank you,
we've made a few attempts to get you into studio, but we have you here now today. So just a reminder, viewers, at the start of the show, that if they have any concerns about their own health or their own well-being, or before they make any drastic changes, that they do consult with their GP, just to make sure that those changes are going to support their lifestyles really, rather than cause any more effect. But ultimately, the key important message that we always mention on Destination Wellbeing here is the importance of taking ownership for our own health and our own well-being. So, and I know you see loads of ladies regularly, all day, every day, Catherine, who are doing exactly that. They're taking responsibility for themselves. They're getting up, they're getting out, and they're in working out of all ages.
All ages, and it's great to see women coming through the door that are taking responsibility, because I know for ladies the hardest part is actually walking through the doors.
Yes.
Because it does take a certain amount of courage to come in to the unknown as such. But usually when they get through the door, they find, oh, these are nice girls, this is a nice and friendly place to work out. But, you know, it's taking responsibility for their own lives. And sometimes it's after the fact of maybe they have developed some arthritis or some health issues that they're coming to us. But also we do get a lot of ladies that are aware of their health as well, and prevention rather than cure.
Prevention's better than cure. And any of our regular viewers will probably be quite, they could probably repeat that conversation that I use it all the time, because it is whatever aspect of life. It's not when we're sick that we need to look after ourselves, it's really beforehand. And I suppose last year I had a guy on who really hit it home with me. He was an acupuncturist and he was talking about ancient traditional Chinese medicine, and in days gone by in like the Chinese Empire, and I've probably got all those historical references wrong, but that so general idea, they paid their physicians until the point that they got sick, and once they got sick, then they didn't pay them anymore. So, and I love the idea of that model, that the role of is prevention's better than cure, and that the role of those supporting us in health should be to help us stay healthy, rather than, I think we've fallen in a little bit that we've got a sick care system rather than a health care system. And
depending on medicine. But I mean, exercise is key. Keeping active, keeping your body fit. What we do now is going to help us when we're 70, 80 years of age, the quality of life that we're going to have. And, you know, that's what I would like for my ladies, to have good quality of life. Yeah,
that's it, because I think, you know, it's fairly inevitable that we're going to be here well into our, you know, we're probably going to be kept alive in one form or other until we're 90s, 100. That's going to become the norm really. But as you say, it's really about the quality of life. But as I mentioned at the beginning, it's great to have Catherine in here, because Catherine and my journey has been intertwined down through the years.
This is such a good omen for me to be sitting here beside Joanne Callan. It all started over 11 years ago.
I know, and how time flies when we were both out. Although I've had people in recent times, and I certainly think that maybe we look younger now than what we did then.
That'd be great.
Yeah, wouldn't it be fantastic? So, but whether that was where we were, but at that stage, we were both embarking on the self-employed journey, Catherine, which I suppose for girls our age really wasn't something that was happening.
For me, it was more of a case of going with the flow. I had met Stephen in America, who's a painter by trade, came home one day and said, Catherine, will you look this up when you go into work tomorrow? Because I worked in an office and there was no online, you know, internet like there is now. So I went in and looked up this web page, and curves came up. And there was only one page and there was a contact number. And I think after a couple of conversations, Stephen came home one day and says, yep, I'm going home. This is a fella who I'd met and says, I'm never going home to Ireland. There's nothing there for me. So he moved home, and I said, okay, we'll see how this works out. Phoned me a month later and says, will you come home? I think I really need you to run this for me. And I hadn't a care in the world. I was like, okay. So off I went and landed in Uri, and we opened in May 2003. And I have to say, the reception we got was unbelievable. The people in Uri are very friendly. I'm originally from Tyrone. Maybe I shouldn't say that. But they're so friendly, and there is a real idea of being hard-working and entrepreneur, and you know, really got a good welcome, and the club just boomed from then. And then within 2 years, I think it was out of enthusiasm, we opened up another 12 clubs after that. So it was a lot of hard work at the time, and then life changed for me. We started a family, so you know, you just can't do everything. You have to find the balance between am I happy? And am I taking
what am
care
I
of
doing?
myself?
Yeah.
Am I taking care of the children? So I'm back down to just one club, my original club, which is Newry, and I have to say I'm back working in it, which I'm really enjoying, you know, because when you have so many, you tend to go to more towards the business side of it. And now I'm actually back in with the members, which is what I love, because you meet, everybody's got a story. Everybody's had a life, and you know, they're living their life, and everybody's life is different. And what I love about it is you're in a job where you can encourage people and have fun with them, but you're actually doing good. You know, you're getting them fitter, healthier, making them more aware.
And what I love there is what you say is that you're, you know, one of the phrases I love as well is we're all teachers, we're all students. So from those experiences, you're learning and
Totally.
growing and developing.
Like,
But
you know, 11 and a half years ago, I was only, whatever, 23 or 24. And what I know now is so much more. Having 3 children, you know, I value the fact that Curve's only 30-minute workout, because I don't actually think I could spare any more time, because I'm working and I have 3 kids. Your time,
it lets you get, your time's different.
You do have a certain, as a mother, you would have a certain amount of guilt of taking time away from the family. So I think 30 minutes, yes, I can take 30 minutes to myself to do this, but it's only, for me, I've had 3 children very close together, so and I'm 3 very good labours, to be honest with you. I have to say, thank God,
Your
you know,
birth
I was
positive.
blessed, and I do put down being fit and healthy as definitely one of the pluses to making
really
that
is.
possible.
And a key thing there as well, which I would find relating a lot to the women that I work with in pregnancy as well, is back to what you said about even the journey was going with the flow. It's really been in that flow in yourself, isn't it, and being able to go with that, and
I think
and to
me,
take the opportunities. You know, certainly in birth it's going with the flow, but in life then it's going with the flow, and take the opportunities when they appear, and sort of. Well,
that's definitely how I would have lived my life, is just kind of going with the flow. And sometimes you get caught up on worrying and fear, and that just totally, you know, you can't move forward when you're in that position. You
can't move forward, you can't move back, can't move anywhere, you just freeze.
It's one of the things I always say, you know, the girls in work, we would have always had this kind of mantra, we would have said, keep the faith, everything will be all right, so just keep the faith. And that's probably one of the biggest things I got through the journey of starting out in Curves, is have faith that everything will be all right, and just
keep the belief,
do what you can,
and go and follow, trust your gut as well, I think, isn't it? When you know something's right when it's right, don't you?
That's true.
But the beauty of, as you say, with Curves is that you've got that 30-minute workout, the flexibility of time as well, because sometimes, you know, and there's so many options now for exercise, and it's finding the right one that fits your lifestyle and fits what suits for one may not suit for another person.
Definitely.
And but certainly to be able to combine both your strength training and your cardiovascular in half an hour.
It's 2 hours a week, really, what we would request of a lady if she's coming in. Everybody's coming in with their needs, you know. Most people come in because they want to lose weight, but everybody's got a different reason why they want to lose weight. It could be for health, it could be, you know, if you're a younger person, your confidence is only going to improve, you know, if you're feeling fit and healthy. And it's just 2 hours a week. I think, as you say, it's finding something that works for you, and I do think Curves provides that for women, because it is only women as well that work out. The environment is very friendly and women orientated, and we can have the fun without feeling conscious of ourselves.
We can let go a bit and go with the flow again. You know, we're all go back to going with the flow. But and the Curves idea has evolved from, as you say, not only have you changed and evolved, but like that, as each new phase and each new part, a piece of the puzzle comes in, then things get tweaked and adjusted and changed. And I know there's sort of the meal plan idea as well, and then there's other options there. So it's supporting not just the exercise, but also the nutritional
keeping up to date.
aspect.
Like the meal plans have now went to being online. They're accessible 24/7. You know, we do the Zumba with the circuit. There's you know, body basics classes, and we just got a brand new circuit last week, which I love.
Well,
obviously, I love it.
Yeah, it's, and it again, it's back. It looks
fabulous.
Looks great. It's
feels
bright.
fabulous.
It's
like having a brand new car. I'm just delighted after 11 years.
Yeah. What's great for members as well, because
well, that's the reason why we decided to go for it. We deserve it. The members deserve it. It's improves form, resistance. It'll only enhance the results that are already being attained by the members.
And as I say, change is as good as a rest, really, isn't it? So that change, I think when something changes in our surroundings, whatever that might be, even just decorating your house or changing your workout or something in that way, then it brings a new energy, a new freshness, and a new...
Yeah, you feel good about it. You're walking into, I walk into the club and it just feels so new and fresh, and I'm just looking forward to next year. I just feel it's going to be a really good year for us.
The whole... I was thinking back of... but just in preparation kind of for chatting to you today, and I was thinking about some of the different paths that we've been on, and of course the key one that came into my head was the mud run, when we decided to take ourselves off and do a mud run.
But it was fabulous.
It was great.
How we felt at the end was fabulous.
I don't think I've ever been as cold. I think
dirty.
I understood what rigor mortis was.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Like, can I actually move? I mean, I do recall standing and not being able, I was that cold I couldn't even remove my clothes to change.
Do you know what it reminded me of, Joanne? It's a bit like childbirth. Once you do it once, you're kind of the next time going, do I really want to go through this again?
I'll keep the illusion in my head. But
just think of the end result.
Yeah, and that's the fun element of exercise and fitness as well. We didn't train for ages or anything to do it. Obviously we maintain. There was myself and you and Brenda and Lisa, I think, wasn't it? But generally our lifestyles are fairly, where we're active and we keep going, and we do consider workouts and do in the form of exercises. So to be able to take it into a fun level and have that type of thing going on.
And it's great because you mentioned Lisa there. Lisa started work for me when she was 16 in Francis Street.
I know.
And I met her last week. She's now a member.
Yeah.
And
her journey, I mean, she's worked in curves in Aberdeen. And
I feel so proud of her.
Oh, I mean, like there was a point, I think, in our house where we thought, we were all stamped with the Curves logo. That somewhere we had an invisible barcode inside that people would have scanned
in your DNA.
But that's the testimony to the community and to the feel and to so it's much more than just about where you exercise.
It's much more than just coming to exercise. I like to feel that my ladies would feel part of the club as such, because, they get into a routine, they start seeing the same faces when they're coming working out. So they develop new friendships, and it's a different kind of friendship because you only see that person in that environment. So sometimes, like I know from my experience, I'd be doing Zumba in the circuit, I'd be thinking, if my husband could actually see what I was doing now, he'd be going, really? Do there is that sense of being with women and just having fun as well, and as exercising at the same time.
And I think that that's a key part of the journey that I'm on, I suppose, at the moment too, is that as women, we tend to operate in quite a masculine energy world. So I don't mean male dominated, because there's as many women buying into that as there's as many women certainly achieving and doing it, but it's from a logical go, very male dominated energy. So I'll not say that it's all men doing it, but it's male. But that time sometimes just to literally have, what I love about Curves is the circle of women. And that idea of a circle of women goes way back. So it brings in a whole, as you say, there's people come in, and it might just be, hello, how are you? It's somebody who is relating to you on some level somewhere. You're generally both there for the same reason. There's a common ground.
As I say, everybody's a different story, because sometimes Curves is the only outlet for a lady, maybe she's at home by herself and, she comes in and works out with us every day. That's her connection as well, socially. She's obviously looking after her health at the same time, or else you have somebody that's, in between school runs and, she's just go all the time, or, in the evening times, she's the ladies that just coming in after work and they can squeeze that 30 minutes in before they have to go home and make the dinner for everybody else. Everybody
has different, it fits, there's the flexibility allows it to fit for lots of different people, and as you mentioned there, it's not just the physical fitness, then it's the emotional well-being as well. well that comes from all of those.
Well, that's it. You know,
those relationships
the ladies
that are formed
want to come and they want to lose weight or drop clothes sizes, and they will do that. But what I love to see is the confidence grow. You can see somebody just flourish in front of you. You know, the smile when they come in, because sometimes people come in and they're quite self-conscious, and then when they've started to get results and start to feel comfortable, you know, you can see it in their face. You know, they just flourish.
Yeah, that's
love to see that.
That's where it all. That's when you know that the changes then are longer lasting and stuff too, because it's not just about the numbers on the scales or the numbers. It's more. It's about the inward person.
It's about how you feel in yourself, and how you feel affects everybody else around you.
Yeah, and
you know, I know when I'm in good form. Generally, everybody has good form. Mummy's happy, everybody's happy.
And that's and women have that impact. You know, we do have that ripple effect where our not just women, we do as society. I mean, everybody has that role of picking up how someone's feeling and how that impacts. And if your temper's a bit shorter today and things like that, then that knocks on, and children will pick up on that. And it's just it's a cycle.
And the other thing as well, and I suppose I'm taken it from my own story as being a mother, because I would cook most of the meals in the house. Yeah. You have such an impact on what everybody's eating. You know, your choice is their choice. And it's when you're much more aware of your eating habits, you can affect the next generation.
Huge, so hugely. But isn't that what they say is teach a mother, teach a generation? It's and that's why even in terms of education, if a mother's educated and you know can do their basic things, and I'm talking maybe in developing world and stuff like that, where there'd be a lot of emphasis on the women and on the mother, because they are having an impact on the whole family circle.
And if children see mummy being active, you know, mummy's going to the gym, it becomes a norm, and you know they will grow up with feeling that exercise is a normal thing, that it's not an extra thing that you have to go do.
And I love that idea too, that it's exercise is the normal thing, rather than the obsession on weight or dieting, or that it's been healthy rather than it's a healthy ethos.
It's healthy eating. For me, I would love, you know, ideally that people, it's a long-term thing. It's not a quick fix. You know, you can come and lose weight and lose inches. But in order to sustain a healthy lifestyle, you need to sustain exercise and eat well. And, you know, we do provide that for women in the short period of time.
And I think one of the things you'll find as well is that when we make a choice to do one thing healthier or to improve our health, be it join a gym or change your diet or whatever that may be, that there is the domino effect, that you then feel, well, I'm exercising, so maybe I'll not eat.
Yeah.
I'll improve how I'm eating, and maybe I'll take a wee bit more care of my skin or whatever it is. But you begin then, it just becomes a sequence of events that
it's
one can knock on to the next.
Know, being patient with yourself, letting yourself feel, you know, a week's not a week of really healthy eating and exercise. You're not going to lose that extra stone. It's just that consistency. So I always say to my ladies, consistency is the key. Keep coming, and you will get there.
You'll get. And you know, even in terms of when I would be talking about detox, and I would just love to take this idea of a 3-day detox and throw it so far out the window. But that a lifetime or you know, or a yearly, that by this time next year I'm going to be putting less toxins into my body. I'm going to be looking after my body. I'm going to be exercising.
And it's the sugar,
and that it's
isn't
those
it,
long term.
It's simple things. If people not cut out, but reduce the amount of sugar in their diet.
Because it's so hidden. But equally is that, well, then, you know, I think we've got the concerns around so much of the processed stuff. So the sugar is one element, but the low-fat sweeteners and things like that are as detrimental to our health long term, certainly I believe anyway, than you know, not. So it's back to natural diets and you know, getting our sweet stuff from fruit and things like that, which okay, we need to do that in moderation, but everything in moderation, really.
Everything in moderation,
and it's balance.
You know, it's about trying to educate people. Because everything's packaged so well now that, you know, packaged that this is healthy, but you know, the amount of salt in processed food. And
one of the challenges I would lay down, and rather than give the information away here, I would just encourage people maybe to go and have a look at, for example, a box of Frosties or a box of Special K, and read or any of your food products, and just read the labels and realise the quantities that are in there, and that a lot of the time, as you say, the packaging product isn't. It's marketed in such a way that we bypass what the reality is.
Simple things like calories. People say, I only ate so many calories. But what was the source of them calories? The difference between what nutrition was in 200 calories compared to, you go eat a chocolate bar, you could eat something much healthier with the same amount of calories. But
you're also getting, in addition, you're
nutrients.
having the nutrients and all of that in there too. So I think it is sometimes that with all aspects of it, back to what we said at the beginning, it's taking responsibility, and it's realising that, we are puppets and marketeers, and there are people out there, certainly in terms of food, and that there are big companies who stand to make a lot of money.
But it's the lifestyle we live to, because it is so busy. We are so busy all of the time that convenience is key. And it's, trying to make the lifestyle choice.
And again, I think sometimes we can fall into the role of all or nothing. So I either do it all of the time or I don't do any of it. But even 1 or 2 days a week of making healthy changes over a period of time is going to be beneficial. And certainly we're coming into the time of excess this time of year, where there's excess in all things. And, so many people will be saying, oh, well, I'm going to make my changes come January. But we can factor in some changes already, I think. Realistically, we'll be on the when the show's going out, we're 10th, 11th of December. And really, it's probably likely to be at least the first week of January before we start all our new year. Between the first and the 8th, very little doesn't happen, and we're still getting back in. Schools are back and all that kind of stuff. But that's a whole, month away, and there's 4 weeks there of craziness and excess. But even something simple like planning in, we've done it now the last few years, and definitely I think in terms of digestion and everything, we've planned in a walk on Boxing Day or St. Stephen's Day, and it's been a good maybe 2 or 3 hour walk. Yes, it happens to have been in Carlingford, and we've called in and had a bite to eat and whatever part of that as well, but we've done the walk first, so it doesn't have to be. I think when we incorporate those in, and that's been a family thing.
I think it's lovely to get out as a family around the Christmas time. Out in the fresh air, and let all that food that's you're all sitting in one room eating for days.
And there's just an endless amount of food, and then of course back into the exercise, and curves will be open over Christmas, and
that's it. We do try and open as much as possible, because really to try and squeeze in that 30-minute workout, it is going to set you up for the day. It does help, because it's like anything, when you're eating sugar you start craving it all the time. So if you can back in, do a bit of exercise, it does help.
You burn it off,
reduce a bit of cravings.
Reduce a little bit. And it's back to balance. It's not saying that you can't enjoy the excesses of Christmas, but just think about your body and how it's working, and have I supported my body today, or am I making choices that are affecting it negatively, is probably a really good question, and figuring out, okay, I have a balance this out. So it's not to say that you'll not spot me out over Christmas, certainly enjoying nice desserts or doing things like that, but it's not about, and I think that's the fear too, that when we see healthy eating, we see it as deprivation or health and well-being. It's like diet, it has to be a chore.
It doesn't have to be a diet, it's choices that you make for eating. And the one thing I find would be the biggest cause of weight gain would be not eating enough. It's as simple as that. The amount of ladies that do not eat their breakfast in the morning, and it's called break fast, break the fast. If I could get them to do one thing in their diet, to change their diet, would be to eat their breakfast.
And really have that set off for the rest of the day, and
to get their metabolism up and going, because what we do is the strength training, and that's promotes your muscle, reduces your fat, but you have to have the fuel in your body to do it as well.
You can't, we are what we eat ultimately, and it has to come in. And again, then sometimes people can see exercise as a chore, but if you make that mental shift that this is something that I'm doing.
The odd time I meet someone on the circuit and she'd be like, I don't like exercise. And for me, who I do genuinely love it. Like I love the feeling of it. I have to say, well done you for making the choice.
Yeah, to come on anyway, even if you hate it.
Because you know the benefits of it. You know you're going to feel better. You know your body's going to be healthier. So
they're not doing it. There's loads of different, as you say, it's back to there's different motivations and different reasons if people don't actually enjoy it. But I think then it certainly should get to the point where your endorphins that you're releasing and the feel good that actually it does become.
The energy levels would be one of the first things that they tend to notice improves. They're like, God, you know, even sleeping better at night, you know, it just has such a knock-on effect. All these wee small changes that, you know, over time changes your life, really.
And if we look at any of the, you know, any of the chronic illnesses and even the more terminal illnesses that we are all familiar with, because there's people, you know, we're hearing about them every day, is the same things help an awful lot of them. Eating correctly, exercising right, fresh air, sleep, managing stress. You know, they all the prescription, and for want of a better word, for good health doesn't really vary across the different illnesses. It's the same things work for all things. So it's,
reducing the sugar, and I suppose for me, I'm quite passionate about the strength training side of it, because that's you know, really at the core of what Curves does. You know, a lot of people will go out, they run or they walk, and it is really good for you, the cardio side. But long term, we need to be looking after our muscles. These are what supports our body. You know, as you come into your 40s, 50s, like even now, you know, my late 30s, I can see a change in my body, and I'm more motivated now probably than I was 10 years ago to keep exercising, because I want to be strong and I want to be fit and healthy. But it's looking after your joints, you know, keep the muscles nice and strong, and that's what keeps your shape as well. You know, somebody could be 10 stone and a lovely size 10, 12, or somebody could be 10 stone and or somebody could be 9 stone and still be that same size, but they don't have the muscle mass. What I really want ladies to understand is the benefits of the strength training and developing their lean muscle.
And then supporting that supports through osteoporosis and all the things as well there. And there's so, I mean, the benefits are there to be said for themselves. And that whole idea of just, you know, making one choice, making one decision. And certainly I would, you know, as you said, the combination of being able to do it all in half an hour is just...
it definitely, I think, is the key to our success is, you know, the half hour, the fact that it's just women, and it does, you can get the strength training and the cardio in that time.
Into the one space, Well, Catherine, thanks a million for joining me
today.
Thank
you so much for having me.
You're very welcome, and I look forward to trying out the new circuit. I haven't got in to have a look
can't wait
at
to
it
see.
But,
That'll be you, your mum and your sister.
We'll all be there.
All the family.
Yes, and we'll certainly, you know, in terms of exercise and that, don't wait until January. Get out there, get something done between now. As I say, there's a month ahead. That we can,
start the New Year's resolutions.
Start the New Year
now,
and get going. And sometimes over Christmas too, the stress and the worry of everybody being in the one space. So take a wee bit of time out for yourselves. To our viewers, I'll be back in with Rowan on Thursday morning and back with Destination Wellbeing next Tuesday afternoon. So thanks a million for watching in, and we'll see you all before Christmas.